Hello, it's Rico Caveglia, your healthy aging and vitality trainer and creator of the Ageless Living Lifestyle. I want to welcome you to today's presentation, which is entitled, as you can see, Be Bold, Never Be Old, and that you can look and feel 10 to 20 years younger in just 90 days. So if that all sounds good to you, you're definitely in the right place. And I want to tell you that I actually guarantee that you actually can look and feel 10 to 20 years younger in just 90 days. I guarantee it to all my clients, and I can guarantee it to you. And also, I can also guarantee that you never have to be old. Being old is just a choice. And we're going to go through all that, and you're going to see how I can actually make that statement. You're going to learn how you really never have to be old. So I think that's pretty exciting. So that's the big message in today's webinar, that if you just change your mind and your lifestyle just a little bit, you'll never have to be old, and you can live a much healthier, energetic, and happy, productive life. So around Ageless Living, we have a saying that we have to age, but we don't have to get old in the process, and that aging is natural and growing old is not. So again, you're going to see exactly why I say that and how I can back that up. And all this information that I'm going to share with you today can really be transformational, can be really life-changing. But of course, the whole idea is that knowledge without action is useless, as you well know. So you have to take action on what you learn here today, and I hope you will, and you'll get some really exciting results. So I'm not sure it's about a 60-minute presentation, so I want to urge you to listen and watch the entire presentation. Not only so you'll get all this extremely beneficial knowledge that you can take some notes on, but also I'm going to reward you at the end for watching this whole entire presentation with some really valuable gifts that I'll give you a link that you can download them. And then also, I'd like to make you a really amazing offer on our new Ageless Living Lifestyle online 90-day coaching program. That's going to be, we just get it finished, and it just offers you so much, a way that you can learn the Ageless Living Lifestyle from the comfort of your own home in a 12-week period, so you don't get overwhelmed. You take your time. At the end of the whole coaching program, you'll have developed your own Ageless Living Lifestyle, and I hope you'll see that this is something that you really want to do. If you don't want to get old, and you like to look and feel 10 or 20 years younger in just 90 days. Okay, so the other main point here that I really want you to get is that good health and high energy are the foundation for being highly successful in every aspect of your life, and being able to truly enjoy your life, all of your life. If you're not healthy, you don't feel good, and you don't have a lot of energy, how can you really enjoy your life? So, I've seen so many happen to so many people, and so many people work so hard. I've had so many clients that they worked so hard, and they made a lot of money, and they thought they were successful, but they weren't really enjoying all their life at the time. And then, by working so hard and not taking care of their health, they lost a lot of their health, and so they had to spend all your money trying to get healthy again. So that doesn't make sense. So the main thing is that it's all about balance. Yes, I believe in working hard and to be successful, but you need to take care of your health along the way, and you need to create a lot of energy, because we all know in order to be highly successful in any aspect of your life, it takes a whole lot of energy. So I also want to confirm to you that you are in the right place. It reminds me of kind of a funny little short story. Do you guys ever hear about there was a famous bank robber? I think it was around the Chicago area way back in I don't even know, maybe it was the 20s or 30s. His name was Willie Sutton, and he was like this real notorious. He robbed so many banks and they could never catch him. But when they finally caught him, all the news people, they say, well, Willie, how come all you do is rob banks? And he goes, because that's where the money is. So that's kind of funny. That makes the sense. So the reason I say that is we really have most of all the answers to almost everything, right? These days, I mean, anything you want to know, you can just pretty much type it on Google and find out the answer, right? So these days, what we have to learn how to ask the right questions, because we have most of the answers. So So the whole point of that is that you're in the right place. We're going to show you how to answer the right questions because we have most of all the right answers, So this is where you're going to get the answers that you need so you can really enjoy that life that you really desire and that you deserve. Okay. So this is totally about, this is no hype, no miracle supplements or all these things are going to do all this stuff. It's things that you have to do yourself, but you're going to see that these are things that are really easy to do, and there are already things that you're already doing in your life, but you're just going to learn how to do them better. So I think you're going to really like that. All right. So just recently, I got this idea that we should be able to make our second half of our life better than the first, right? Wouldn't you like to have your second half of your life better than the first? And it makes sense. It should happen, right? In the first half of our life, we're learning and we're growing and we're establishing relationships, and hopefully we're gaining a lot of knowledge and a lot of wisdom, and hopefully we're gaining some financial security and, like I say, building some good relationships. So therefore, our second half should be a lot better. That makes sense. But the reason it's not for so many people, I'm sure you're aware of, because they're losing their health. So many people are getting old and sick and dying way before their time, and you'll see when I'm talking about that in just a minute as well. So that's the only reason that our second half is not better than our first, and so many people are not really looking forward to aging in the second half of their life so much because they have this vision, which happens to most people, getting old and end up in a nursing home, and that's not very much fun at all. So we're going to show you how you can actually make the second half of your life better than the first. See, all these ailments and all these things that are causing us to get sick and weak and old before our time, they're all things that we can change, and there's things that you can actually do, and I'm going to prove this to you in this presentation. So once again, I want to reiterate to you that you really can look and feel the best all of your life. And I absolutely guarantee that you can feel your best all of your life. I can't totally guarantee that you're going to look 10 to 20 years younger in just 90 days. Everybody's different. Some people do, but you'll look better for sure. But you're going to feel so much better. I absolutely guarantee that. And also, in this presentation, I'm going to reveal my exact blueprint, what you need to do to achieve maximum vitality and lots of energy and good health for all of your life. It's the same system that I use with my private clients that I teach in my live Ageless Living Lifestyle workshops here in San Diego. It's worked for hundreds of individuals. And the good thing about it, you're also going to see that all these things that you're going to learn how to do the right way, you can't fail. You just have to do it. That's the great thing about it. That's why I love teaching this and living this kind of a lifestyle, because it works. You can't fail. It's no theory, or maybe it works a little bit here for some people. No, this works for everybody. You just have to do it. And that's the good news. Okay. So you're going to learn my three main strategies. There are three really main proven strategies to the Ageless Living Lifestyle Wellness System. So you're going to learn those. You're also going to learn the secret to achieving your goals. This is something that is not commonly taught. You hear the old standard thing about goals. You got to make them, this little smart thing. But there's a big factor that most people are missing out on why they're not really achieving their goals. And you're going to learn about that. And then I'm going to reveal my secret to where you can actually immediately end your struggle with dieting and trying to lose weight forever, for the rest of your life, and never have to worry about dieting or trying to lose weight ever again. That should be pretty exciting for so many people these days. And then number 4, you're actually going to learn how you can actually easily develop your own personalized Ageless Living Lifestyle wellness program. So I hope that's exciting for you. Okay. So before we get into it, this is a real important thing that I always have all my clients and people do in my workshops is write down, for now, just write down one in each one of these things real quickly. These are the 4 most important things in most people's life. I think most everybody agrees with it. The 4 most important things are our health, our relationships, our finance, our business, and then our life purpose, how we're going to make a difference in the world. So these are the four things that most everybody is, this is the most important things that we need to really do our best at. So let's just pick health. Let's just pick one thing uh, out of in your health that maybe you have some challenge. Maybe it's being over fat. Maybe it's you have some serious health challenge, or maybe you just don't have as much energy, or you don't look and feel as good as you should, or whatever's going on that you know you need to improve. Write that down because you know that your health is one of the most important things. So write this down, and then later on we're going to come back to this, and you're going to see again how this all works and why it's so important. Okay, so I mentioned this just briefly about today. All we really need to do is ask the right questions because we have the answers. We have most all the answers these days. Science has taken us so far, and we've been around long enough now that mankind, we pretty much got a pretty good handle on our mental, emotional state, or on our physical and spiritual as well. So I think that's so. I'm gonna help you to see what I think are some of the right questions to ask. Now, before we get started, also, I think this is very important. I'm going to give you some stunning facts, just like this stunning sunset. I mean, I hope they stun you as much as they do. I don't know, they're out there, but still people, it doesn't seem to sink in. But the WHO stands for the World Health Organization, only ranks the United States of America 27th in the world for overall quality of health. Now think about that for a while. Something is really wrong. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, here we are, the most advanced, uh, you know, highly advanced society technologically, and we're still the best. We still have the highest gross national product, and yet we're not even. Our health is not even in the top 10. We're ranked 27th for overall quality of health. So something's wrong with our lifestyle here in America. Now, also, the U.S. is not even in the top 10 for longevity or for happiness. We don't even live. There's at least, I think there's 17 other countries people live longer than we do. And then they have these, there's a bunch of different ways that people, but there's different groups that go around and measure people's happiness in different countries. And we're not even ranked, I think we're ranked way down too as far as being happy. So we're not healthy, we're not happy. So it doesn't make sense. Yes, we have the highest quality material lifestyle, and we're accomplishing so much, but we're not living long and we're not happy. So something needs to change, and that's what this also what Ageless Living lifestyle is all about. And we also know, back on the health thing about Americans, that 2/3 of Americans are now known to be overweight, with almost half of those uh, considered obese, and that includes our children. So we have some serious things that we need to turn around here if we're going to come back to where we can really or say we are the best place to live. We are a great country. Right now, we're far from it. We're not doing nearly as well as what we need to do. We're just really off the track. And then here's a big one too. The third leading cause of death in the United States. You know what that is? It's commonly accepted now that it's our standard medical healthcare system in hospitals. People are dying in hospitals from the wrong drugs, from overdoses of drugs, from the surgeries, from all the chemicals and radiation that they give, and of course from infections that they get in the hospital. The hospital is the most dangerous place in the world. You want to stay away from there at all costs, unless I just want to say this: our modern medical system is fantastic. If you get for acute situations, if you get into an accident and you're bleeding or you're broken, they can save your life, put you back together. They're fantastic. That's what they're really good for. But for most chronic situations that people go through, all these degenerative diseases that are killing people, their methodologies are not only mostly ineffective, but they're downright dangerous. They're actually killing some people. So we have to be aware of that. So I just want to bring that forward. So these are some stunning facts that we need to be aware of, and not just say, oh, well, we just go along, we don't think about it. But we need to know this, and we need to change this around before it's too late. So the big question then is, what's the root cause? Why is this happening? I think you can guess. It's all about your lifestyle. You know, I investigated it. I'll tell you just a little bit about how I got the idea to start to investigate this and how I found out that it is your lifestyle. Uh, but also, I want to say that it's confirmed. Even the AMA, the American Association, the very conservative American Medical Association, will now say that at least up to 80% of all degenerative diseases such as heart disease, cancer, diabetes, obesity are all preventable with a healthy lifestyle. So we know that it really is a lifestyle. So this is really the root cause. We live in such an overstressed society. Everybody's rushing around. We've got to accomplish so much, and I think it's kind of debatable. I mean, all of our high tech uh, products are fantastic. That's how I'm presenting this video webinar to you guys. This training, it's great. We can do so much, but we have to keep it in balance. People just stay up and think they have to accomplish so much because we can accomplish more. They don't get enough sleep, and they're just stressed out about what they have to do, and we just overdo it. We're just on the computer and our phones and tablets way too much, and it's just overstressing people out and really bad for your health. So we have to realize that money doesn't make us happy, and drugs don't make us healthy, and weapons aren't going to keep us safe, and this fast processed, genetically modified, chemically altered foods, it's not safe, it's not healthy for us. So all these things that are going on in our society are not solving our problem. They're actually making it worse. So we need to get educated, and we need to turn this around. So that's why I do this. That's why we want to get this information out to as many people, as more people really understand this and step forward and step your game up and make a lifestyle change. It brings up everybody, and eventually we can get to where we need to be, to where we're all living a healthy, productive, happy lifestyle. I hope that makes sense to you. I also want to tell you that we now know too that genetics only plays a very small role in determining how healthy and how long we're going to live. It's really our lifestyle. It's commonly known that. Science has showed us that. But the good news is we can turn this around. We know what to do. There's plenty of solutions. Just like most of our problems are self-inflicted, well, we can also inflict the right solutions on ourselves as well. So we can turn this around. And that's what the Ageless Living lifestyle is all about. Okay, this is just a little cartoon I thought was kind of cute. This just shows you this is not the lifestyle we're talking about. Not the guy out on the couch potato drinking his beer, his coffee on the tube there. That's not the lifestyle we're talking about. And not this lady here either, smoking her cigarette and leaning back and lounging around. That's not the lifestyle we're talking about either. All right. So what we really need is we need a real wellness healthcare system. See, the problem is we don't really have a healthcare system in America. We have a disease care system. Again, as I mentioned before, it's great for acute situations, but it's deadly for chronic situations. So, see, our healthcare system is called healthcare, but it's really disease care. It's trying to take care of it once you get sick. And it's huge, big business, it's big business. All these pharmaceuticals, all these hospitals, all these different things to treat health and take care of people is huge business. So I don't think, they don't really want to solve the problem because it's really good for the economy. But what we really need, we need a real wellness system, a real wellness healthcare system. And that is, first, let me tell you really what is real wellness. So this is my definition of real wellness. Real wellness is about balance. It's having a feeling of well-being in mind, body, and spirit. It's having a fit, energetic body-mind, free of disease, while enjoying a high level of emotional and social well-being. And real wellness also includes the health of our planet and all of her inhabitants. And we'll talk a little bit about that as well. There's no way that we're going to be healthy if we continue to pollute and destroy our environment, which is another serious thing that we have to address as well. So really, we're talking about wellness, and we know now that real wellness is a complete mind, is having a high degree of well-being mentally, physically, socially, and spiritually. So first of all, as we mentioned earlier, good health and lots of energy are the foundation for everything you want to accomplish and to enjoy in your life. So we need to be well, and we need our planet to be well if we're going to survive. But this is another reason why I also do this and why we need to be healthy and energetic, because we have some great challenges to meet. And I'm sure you're aware of these, but again, we can't put our head in the sand and just pretend that they don't exist, and we need to stand up and do something about this. Uh, disease, and poor health. It's bad in America. Overpopulation. You know that now that lots of studies have shown that we now have 7 billion people on this planet, and just to keep it the Earth what it can provide for a decent standard of living, not even a decent standard of living for the whole world like we are today. We can't even we're not taking care of everybody on the planet. Can only really sustain at a decent level of existence for maybe 5 billion people. And just within another 10, 15 years, we're going to have 9 billion people. So we've really got to get ourselves together. We're going to have water shortages. We're having food shortages, worldwide pollution. We're disappearing rainforests, which is producing most of our oxygen when we breathe. Now, how ridiculous is that? The thing that we most depend on, we can only live about 5 minutes without, is oxygen, and we're cutting down our supply of oxygen. That's just nuts. Global warming. Some people still think global warming is not happening. That is just insane too. Just look at the pictures of the glaciers and like the snow on Mount Kilimanjaro. They're just going away. They're just almost going to be non-existent pretty soon. And also, just here in California, the last 24 months here in California, we've had the hottest temperatures ever recorded, and we're having a big drought, and it's just amazing how hot it's been ever recorded. So anybody who says global warming is not happening that's just ridiculous. As you well know, we're having so many economic crises all around the world, all these wars and all this terrorism, but the biggest one of all is our complacency. We have to come together globally to solve all these challenges, and we can. The good thing about challenges is it's really why we're here. I mean, we're here to have challenges so we can learn and grow and advance ourselves, I believe, spiritually. So big challenges offer big successes and big rewards. Success is about taking responsibility for your life and overcoming major challenges. It's not the particular challenge that's important. It's what you learn in the process of overcoming any challenge. And I'm going to relate that to you, my big challenge, in just a minute here. So here's my story. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I got to where I am, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and about my big challenge. Now you will notice on the screen that my chronological age is 72 and my fitness age is 28. Now, I don't say that to try and brag or say anything great about that, other than just to show you that what's possible and what you can do. And also I want to say that, yes, my fitness age is 28. It's based on a fitness age test, a computerized test of about 5 different basic fitness assessments that we do, which, pretty easy for me because that's what I've been doing as a personal trainer for 33 years. So it makes it pretty easy for me. But I don't claim to be someone who's 28 and it's in really good shape and fitness. I don't claim to be as good or strong as they are, But it's still just to show you what you can do. Okay, so these are all pictures of myself. I love to inline skate, go out there and skate around by the beach every day. It's just so much fun. And that's a picture on my bike. Do a lot of cycling as well. Okay, but my story is I moved to San Diego in 1980 and was looking for something new to do, and I just happened to have good fortune to meet one of the very first personal trainers here in San Diego, and he was looking for someone to help him open up a new training studio. So I said, well, okay, I'll check it out. So I had always been an athlete, and I was in fairly good shape, but I didn't really know anything about exercising really or nutrition or any of those things. So I began to learn from him, and I began to see, hey, this is pretty good. You learn how to get healthy and fit and for yourself, and then you can actually help other people and get paid for it. That was pretty good. So we had a pretty successful time. We also did some of the very first corporate fitness programs in the 80s here in San Diego. And then I went on to work for myself and had a group of so many amazing clients. And I kind of fell into working with a group. I work with all ages, but I've worked with hundreds of individuals of all ages and all different fitness levels and with many different health challenges. But I kind of, at the last probably 20 years, I really kind of specialized in working with people, from 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I even had a lady who was 100 years of age. She was pretty cool, and she still could do some stuff. And I've been able to get people out of wheelchairs and off walkers and really amazing things. Although it's not really that amazing. You just have to do some of this basic stuff, and it works. So I guess it is amazing for some people. So I've had the good fortune to be able to work with all these people. And in that time, I was able to really see, what mental and physical neglect do to the physical body and how it prematurely ages us. But also I was able to see and also to discover and develop these strategies that can not only reverse a lot of this premature aging, but it can prevent it as well. And also in this time I've been able to write 15 books on health and wellness and given lots of workshops and written over 150 articles. And so I just tell you this just so maybe you think, well, maybe I should listen to this guy. Maybe he knows a little bit of what he's talking about. But now I want to tell you about my big challenge. At first when I was out speaking to groups and training people, and a lot of people would say, well, Rico, you've never been unhealthy or you've never been overweight. You don't understand. This would be mostly people who I was talking to about when they need to lose weight or reduce their body fat, what I call it, not losing weight. And so they would say, well, you've never been overweight. You don't understand what we're going through. You can't relate to us and all that. And at first, I didn't quite know how to relate to that because, as you know, there's a lot of people out there who have just lost a whole bunch of weight. So then they got online or they got a program out there and say, I can teach you how to lose weight. And maybe some of them were okay, but a lot of them were not really, really experienced or trained health or fitness people. They just learned some things about losing weight for themselves, and I don't know, maybe they didn't even keep it off, or it might have worked for them, but it might not work for everybody else. So, which it doesn't work for most people losing weight. You're going to hear about that later. So, at first I would say, well, would you rather learn what to do right from somebody who's a trained professional in the field, or just somebody who just lost a bunch of weight? But still, I wasn't quite satisfied with that. And then finally I realized, hey, I've had challenges too. We all have challenges, and our challenges are just the same, right? Because a challenge is something that we have to step up and go through, and then and challenge ourselves to meet that challenge. And when we do, then we take ourselves to the next level. And all challenges we're affected by what happens to us, whether it's being overweight or having another health challenge. Or I'll tell you about mine now. My challenge was I grew up stuttering, and if you can imagine, if you stutter, it makes you a little bit of an introverted person. Because I can remember sitting in the classroom. And I was fortunate that I could do pretty good in school. And you know how they used to, I don't know about nowadays, but they used to always, teacher would ask a question and raise your hand if you knew the answer. And I almost always knew the answer, but I wouldn't raise my hand because I was afraid I was going to stutter, which I mostly would. And then you know how kids are, they're kind of tough on each other. They'd laugh at me, so then you'd feel bad. So I wasn't able to, to speak up and feel good about myself because I stuttered. And that was kind of tough. And, it makes you kind of not feel really good about yourself. So it's the same, just like somebody who doesn't, maybe they're not happy with their appearance, or they're a fat kid or a fat older person, and they don't feel good about themselves. Well, it's the same thing. Whatever we're dealing with that makes us, and we all have something almost, that makes us not feel so good about ourselves, it's the same feeling. I didn't feel so good about myself because I couldn't talk. So I don't think it's any different than somebody who feels not good about themselves because they're overweight. So that's the point I'm trying to show you. But then think about this. As I, got older and got out of school and got out of college, and I got better. I didn't stutter so much, and it wasn't that big of a problem. I was fortunate that I could play sports and do fairly good in school and all that. So it really didn't hold me back too bad. But still, that wasn't my thing at all, speaking up and going talking about stuff and expressing myself too much. But then when I developed my Ageless Living lifestyle and started writing books, all the marketing people would say, well, Rico, this is your book, this is your idea, this is your concept, You're the model for it. You got to get out and promote it and speak about it. And I go, are you kidding me? Me be a speaker? That's the last thing that I thought I would ever be, that I would ever be in front of a group of people speaking. And just like I am here. And so I just said, no, I can't be a speaker. Well, and also, yeah, I mean, think about this. The fear of public speaking is one of the top five things in America that people fear. Most people are so fearful of stand up in front of people and everybody's looking at you and you got to speak and have something that's going to be worthwhile or else you're going to really embarrass yourself or I mean most people have a real big fear of that. And so I said I can't do that. But then I finally realized that here I'm challenging my clients to step up and get fit and lose the body fat and get whatever they need to do. But I wasn't stepping up to meet my challenge. So finally I said, okay, I've just got to do this. I realized I got to do this. So I just started, mostly I took a little bit of classes about speaking, but mostly I just said, okay, I just got to go out and do it. And I took this one class from this one actor, I can't remember his name now, but he really inspired me. He says, look, you don't have to learn all these things, how to speak really great and all these movements and hand gestures and all this stuff. All you really need to do is speak from your heart. So, lifespan versus life expectancy. Did you know that science now tells us that our genetic potential is to stay healthy to age 125? Yeah, 125. But yet we also know that our life expectancy in the United States is only about 80. Well, it's about 80 for women and about around 77 for men. So whenever I speak to a group, I always like to ask them, why do you think there's a difference between why do women tend to live a little longer than men? And I get some pretty funny answers sometimes, but really what we come up with, I think, is just that I think women, you guys are just smarter than we are. You don't beat yourself up and do as many stupid things as we do. So that's probably why you live a little bit longer. But when I found this out, this was in the late 90s, when I heard that science was telling us that our genetic potential is to stay healthy to 125, and yet most people only live until about 80, then I realized, hey, we're missing out on about 45 years of living, and I didn't want to miss out on those years. I was enjoying my life, so I said, okay, I got to investigate this and see why is this happening and what we can do about it. And of course, as we've mentioned before, the real reason it really is lifestyle. It's no question about it. Again, even the American Medical Association now says that most degenerative diseases, which are killing most people, like heart disease and cancer and diabetes, is preventable with a healthy lifestyle. So that's what the Ageless Living Lifestyle is all about. The Ageless Living Lifestyle is about learning how to stay healthy and energetic all of your life. And so one of our main taglines that we have is, which I've mentioned before, aging is natural, growing old is not. So a lot of people say, well, that sounds really good. That sounds really good. But what do you mean by old? I think people have a wrong really idea of what old is. I think we kind of tend to think of old as how many years you've lived. But as you're going to see here, it's a real big difference. Anti-aging versus anti-growing old. And actually, anti-aging, I don't like to use that term very often because I think it's actually the wrong terminology, because we really can't stop aging. Aging is a natural process, right? One year you're 40, then you're 41, then you're 42. And aging, as you see here, the definition of aging is good. Aging is becoming truly mature, fully mature, to reach your full potential like fine aged wine. So that's what we're here to do. We're here to age. But old, it's a whole other story. Old means to be worn out, used up, unexcited about your life, unable to care for oneself. So you see that old's not very good. No one wants to be old. And really, old is just a state of your mind and a state of your body. And those are both choices. It's both choices. We have a choice on how we think and how we feel about our life and how we take care of our physical bodies. So that's a big distinction that I want to make. And here's kind of a funny thing that I'm trying to teach a lot of people, and everybody gets a good laugh out of this, but it's very true. What do we commonly say when we want to know someone's age? We say, how old are you? So now you know if someone tells you how old are you, or if you tell somebody how old are you, you're saying how worn out, used up, beat up, unexcited about your life are you. So that's not cool at all. So if you really want to know someone's age, just say what's your age. So that's what we're teaching people to do. So now you're probably thinking, well, that sounds really good, Rico. We don't have to get old and all that, but I'm not sure. I don't know if I believe that. How can you really say? How can you really say? How can you prove that? Well, actually, it's quite easy. As we just mentioned, science now has determined that our genetic potential is to stay healthy to 125. So we know that. And then actually, even the better one is that many people routinely in the world stay healthy and live to over 100 years of age. These are mostly more isolated, where the environment's a lot cleaner up in the mountains and the Hunzas. You've heard of the Hunzas. Um, and they're up around the Caucasus Mountains in Russia and India, up in Nepal. So a lot of these cultures actually stay really healthy and strong, as do some South American Indians in Ecuador, and then the people in Okinawa Islands. A lot of the Japanese islands, the people live. Uh, many people live over to be 100 years of age and stay really healthy. And there's actually even a little place in here in Orange County in Southern California called Yorba Linda. It's a small community, and I think they're based something like Science of the Mind or some religious church like that, where most of the people are church members, and they're real strict. They don't drink any coffee or alcohol or smoke, and they eat really healthy. So they routinely, it shows that if you live that healthy lifestyle, you've got a really good chance to stay healthy to 100 or more. And then I've known someone myself. Well, I've also mentioned that I've worked with people in their 90s and even had a lady that was 100 years of age. But I knew this guy. This was way back in I'm not sure 80s or 90s. This guy named Noel. Actually, his name was Johansson, not Johnson, I think. And at about age 70. He was pretty much like the average American. When they get to be 70, he was kind of out of shape and unhealthy and not very fit. And then his wife died, so he was pretty distraught, and he was pretty much ready to give up on life. But then his son, who was a runner who competed, came to stay with him for a while and got him into running, and he just took to it like a duck to water, and he began running and running, and then he started doing marathons, and I worked with him a little bit with his fitness and helped him get him going. And in his 80s, he was setting world records for running marathons at his age. And he wrote a book called A Dud at 70 and a Stud at 80. You still could probably find that book. And he actually ran marathons up into it when he was in his 90s. So now I don't recommend running marathons. Marathons are really not good for you. They really too much strain on your body and they beat you up. So those things actually can age you as well. But for him, it worked really well. But it's just to point out that what's possible. Here's people in their 90s have run marathons, and some people think they're old when they're 50 years old. And actually, a true measure of age is your posture. How well you can stand up. And of course, we all know if someone has nice erect posture, you look good and vibrant, and you look young. But if you're all bent over, first of all, you can't breathe very well, you can't function nearly as well, and you don't look really very well again. And it's all about how flexible you are too. That's really the most important training, is to stay flexible. And that's really easy to do. Just a little bit of stretching every day, you can keep yourself flexible all of your life. And also, of course, we think of the difference between a young person and an old person is how much energy you have, right? So you got to have energy. And whenever I speak to a group, I like to give them an energy tip too. So here's one of my very best energy tips, and I'll give that to you as well right now. So much of us these days, we work in an office, right? Or maybe it's our home office, but we're always looking at a computer screen or we're on our phone. So uh, we're not moving it very much. But our brain, did you know that our brain actually burns up about 70% of the calories that we take in? Our brain is always working. It's very active. So it really runs on blood sugar. And so if we're using your brain all day long, but not moving your body very much, all that metabolic waste and lactic acid from all the metabolic processes and all the sugar that the brain has been using all day and burning just gets stored in your body. So at the end of the day, you feel fatigue. That's one of the biggest excuses I get from people. They say, "Oh, at the end of the day, I'm so tired. I don't have energy. I don't feel like exercising." Well, it's just the opposite. See, your muscles are not really tired. If you're a construction worker, yeah, you get home, you've been using your body, you're tired, you need to rest. But if you've just been sitting in an office all day, all you need to do is go out for 20 minutes of some kind of aerobic exercise. Go out for a power walk or a jog or a swim or ride your bike, and you'll just revive yourself. You'll flush out all those waste products, and you'll have lots of energy so you can enjoy your evening. Real simple thing to do. You all can do that. So, what I've really done, again, I know that everybody these days, we're just inundated with so much information and we're so busy. Everybody's got such a busy lifestyle. So what I've actually done with the Ageless Living, Ageless Living lifestyle training, is I kind of boil it down to the 7 essentials of life. And these are, obviously we have to use our brain, we're thinking, we have our belief systems. And then we have to breathe, and we have to drink water, and we have to eat food, and we have to eliminate waste products, and we have to move our body, and we have to get some rest. So these are all the things that we're doing all the time anyway. But the thing is, we haven't really learned to master these things as well as we could and need to. So we make it real simple. You're already doing these things, but in Ageless Living lifestyle training, you're going to learn how to do these things in the right way, in the best way that's really going to give you the best chance to have lots of energy and stay healthy and energetic and vital all of your life. So I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, so there is actually 3 strategies that that make up the Ageless Living lifestyle. And the first one is called the C.A.R.E strategy. This is the mental emotional component, and this is really the most important one, because this is really the reason that most people have not stuck with a healthy eating program or an exercise program. They get all excited, they get motivated. Yeah, I know I've got to eat healthier and I've got to exercise, but they don't stay with it. And this is really the reason, because they haven't got really clear on what's really your life's about and what's really important to you and why you actually need to do this. So the C.A.R.E strategy is choosing to take responsibility for my body and my health and my life, and to loving myself unconditionally. That's a big one. A lot of people still aren't really, maybe too happy with themselves. So if you don't have a good self-esteem and really love yourself the way you should, you're probably not going to take care of your body the way you should. And you need to get control of your emotions that are strong, passionate, and focus on getting permanent results. And you got to take action on a consistent basis to reach your goals and realizing what's truly important in your life. So we're going to go through some of this, and I'm going to kind of give you a little overview of what you really need to do. So the first one is, here's really the sequence of how whatever we do in our life, it starts with a belief system. We all have beliefs about our life and the world around us and what we're capable of and what's going on. So our beliefs are very important, and I'm sure you know that one of the biggest things that we all have to realize is that our beliefs are creating our reality. So whatever we believe, then that's what we're thinking about, and that's how we feel and react to what's going on in our life. So first you have a belief about something, and then you think, well, okay, this is what I better do then. This is what you're feeling about it, and then that contributes to the actions that you do or don't take in your life. And so the whole idea is that we have a lot of beliefs that are not true. A belief is just something that we, at the moment, this is what we feel is true, but that doesn't make it true. Quite often we have the wrong beliefs, and we have limiting beliefs, and we have beliefs that are really holding us back in all areas of our life, in our health, and our making money, and how we feel that, how we're perceived in the world. So the key here is, since you can believe anything that you want in your life, you can believe anything you want, why believe anything negative or not good about yourself? Believe the very best for yourself, because what you believe and thinking about and feeling, that's what you're going to create. So that's what we teach in our Ageless Living Lifestyle training. How to identify some of these limiting beliefs that are holding us back, and then how to replace them with real positive beliefs that are going to serve us better. So this is a little equation that I kind of made up. It's kind of fun. It's all about changing your story and in order to change your life. We all have our story, and sometimes we seem to get caught up in all the negativity. Oh, this happened to me, and oh, this people did this, and oh, I had this misfortune, and we sort of get caught up into our story of why we are where we are and why things aren't better in our life. And that's just, as long as we're stuck on that kind of a story, that's where we're stuck in our life. So if you really want to change your life, you got to change your story. So this equation, me plus Mr. equals Mo, really stands for my experience plus my reaction or response equals my outcome. So whatever happens to us, whatever experiences we have, it's really our own response. Nothing's really good or bad. We just make these judgments. It's really everything is really just a lesson, and we can learn from it. And it can every experience can be good, and we can learn. And it doesn't need to hold us back and say, "Oh, look, I had this bad thing happen to me. That's why I'm not doing well." That's just a story that's holding you back. So our outcomes from any experience is up to us. We can choose to realize, "Hey, I really learned something good from this." Now, the next part of the C.A.R.E strategy is life purpose. I think this is really the key to getting inspired and staying motivated and really never being old. As long as you realize that you're here, you have a special gift. I believe that we're all spiritual beings here with a physical body here on earth for a short time, and we all have certain gifts and certain things that we can do probably better than anyone else. And so we need to discover what our purpose is, and we need to go out and help make it a better world and serve other people. And when you really feel that you're living on purpose, and you're out and you're doing something that you really enjoy and you're passionate about, and you're helping other people, then you're excited about your life. And also I believe that then you'll realize that you need your physical body to be healthy and energetic so you can live your purpose. So some people say, well, I don't know what my life purpose is. Well, you need to spend some time and think about what is my life purpose, and ask other people what you're really good at. But really what it basically comes down to is something that you're really passionate about, you love to do, and you know that it's a win-win for everybody. It's not only serves you, but it serves other people as well. And your life purpose can change throughout your life. As we go through life, our purposes change, and you don't have to have some great monumental purpose. It could be just that you're really kind and loving, and everybody you see, you smile and try to be nice to them. That's a really nice purpose. So it doesn't have to be anything really major. And then the other thing is, it's all about being responsible, in our life. Everybody wants to be powerful, but in order to be a powerful person, it's real easy. You just got to be responsible for everything in your life. As long as you take responsibility for making everything happen in your life, that gives you the power. But if you're not being responsible and you're just, again, blaming society or the government or the economy, and you're thinking bad things just happen to you, you're giving up all your power. So then you're not powerful. But to be powerful, it's real simple. Just be responsible, take responsibility for everything in your life, and then you'll make it happen. Now, the next strategy is called the C.A.R.E strategy, and this is all about caring for your physical body, doing all the things that we know we need to do to create a healthy, energetic body. So C stands for connecting to your body, and A stands for appreciating your body, really realizing how marvelous our bodies are and what they can do for you, and then giving it some respect and giving it some love, and then enjoying your body. Life's not supposed to be a struggle. Life's supposed to be exciting and vibrant and just really enjoyable. But again, it's really difficult to enjoy your life and enjoy your body if you're not respecting it and appreciating it and taking good care of it. If you let your body go, you're not keeping it fit and healthy and energetic as possible, you're not going to be able to enjoy your life or your body nearly as much as you could. So now we're going to get into those 7. Well, we already covered the mind part, so now there's actually 6 left here of the things that we need to do in order to create that healthy, vibrant, energetic lifestyle that I've been telling you about. That's the Ageless Living Lifestyle. So We all know we have to breathe, but the problem is with breathing and taking in oxygen. It's done by our autonomic nervous system, and we breathe without even thinking about it. We don't have to think to breathe just to stay alive. But most of the time, we're just doing real shallow breathing. So we really need to do to fill up your lungs and fill your body full of oxygen. Every metabolic function in our body requires lots of oxygen. And so if you don't have a lot of energy, you just need to breathe to get more oxygen into your body. So it's all about learning how to deep breathe on a regular basis and getting out there and doing some aerobic activity which really stimulates your lungs and your heart in order to learn to get more oxygen into your body. So I highly recommend that you learn to do some deep breathing if you don't know how. Take a yoga class, and that's what we teach in our Ageless Living Lifestyle training, how to really deep breathe and get much more oxygen into your body. And of course, drink. Look at all that beautiful water in a rainbow. It's water's all around us, and again, water is the second most important element in our life. We can only maybe live, I don't know, a week or less, several days or a week without drinking water. So we all know this too. You need to stay hydrated, but are you actually doing it? Are you keeping a nice uh, stainless steel or polycarbonate water bottle with you at all times and drinking every hour? Stay hydrated. If you actually get really thirsty, that means you already partially got dehydrated. And again, every metabolic function in our body requires water. Our body's about 70% water and our brain's about 80 to 90% water. So you got to keep your brain hydrated. And please don't use those little plastic water bottles. We need to get rid of those water bottles. Those things are polluting our planet. I'm sure you're aware of that. And also, they're such thin little cheap plastic full of chemicals inside, and as soon as they get hot, if you leave them out in the sun and they get hot, some of those chemicals can leak into your water, and then you're polluting your body with chemicals. So you don't want to drink those little water bottles. Next one is eat. And again, now this is a complex subject, nutrition, and we spend a lot of time in our Ageless Living Lifestyle. This is probably the largest chapter in the book, in my Ageless Living book, of going through and learning of all the different foods and how to combine them and what you really need and what are the best foods and maybe for what the best foods for your particular body type. But in this training here, I just want to make it real simple for you. You just got to eat real food. The majority of things you put in your body got to be real food. In fact, my very first book was called Real Food, Real Fast. And what I mean by real food is what's grown in nature, organic fruits and vegetables and whole grains and nuts and seeds, and then some healthy animal products that are raised not in a cage, they're raised naturally. They're grass-fed if they're beef and or big cattle, no hormones and no chemicals, and raised as naturally as possible. Some animal products can be healthy for you as well. So, but anything that's highly processed, that comes in a can or a box, uh, those things are a few steps away from being in their natural state. As you see in the picture there, real food doesn't have a label on it. It doesn't need a label and it doesn't need a package. It has its own package. So you got to just make the majority of your food real food. That's just real life food. So whenever you're going to eat something, you look at it and say, is this really live food? Is it going to energize me, or is it probably going to plug me up? If it comes with some label with all kinds of long chemical terms that you don't know what they are, that's probably something that you don't want to put into your body. Now, there are some healthier foods that do come in a package. We're fortunate these days that you can get some good organic, fairly healthy foods that are minimally processed. But for the most part, of our common foods that are produced these days, and now again, I'm going to stress that you need to eat organic. It's so important because if it's not organic, it's been sprayed with pesticides. It's been probably genetically modified. Almost 70% of our foods these days are genetically modified, and now we begin to find many studies that are showing the real dangers of genetically modified foods. Most countries in Europe have outlawed any genetically modified foods. So many of our foods are highly with so many additives and chemicals and all this high fructose corn syrup and full of sugars. This is what's really causing our obesity epidemic and poor health in America. So it's really essential that you get a handle on how to eat healthy, real food. And we really go into this. This is really the most important one because it's one that we have to eat every day, and we got to eat all the time. So it's so important to get a handle on how to eat the best high energy, healthy foods for you. Now, that's kind of a funny one, but it's so important. We have to eliminate the waste products. You know that I don't know if you've heard this story about the chicken heart that some site, I don't remember now either where they did it, but one of the big major universities that did research, they actually were able to keep some chicken heart cells, or maybe it was a whole heart, in a petri dish, and they kept it alive for 35 years, and it was still fine. They just finally got tired of taking care of it. But all they had to do was they had to just give it what it needed. Give it the nutrients that it needed, and then flush it out the waste products. So they kept really good care of it all the time, and it never got old and never got sick. It lasted forever. So, but the key here is you got to eliminate the waste products. So, the important thing here is to know is that if you're not having at least a minimum of two good healthy bowel movements every day, you're partially constipated. So that's something that you really need to get a handle on. Not eliminating your waste products on a regular daily basis is a real unhealthy condition. So, but if you're exercising, if you're drinking water, you're eating real food, you're thinking the right thoughts, you shouldn't have any problem at all with elimination. But if you are, you really need to consult with your healthcare practitioner to really get you on the right track. Then, of course, the next one is move. You just got to move your body. You don't have to be an athlete. You don't have to train. You don't have to run miles and miles and go to the gym all the time. You just have to do some basic exercises you need to stretch your body regularly. You need to get some form of aerobic activity, even if it's just walking, and you need to do some basic strength exercises that'll tone your muscles and keep you at least a decent amount of strength. So you just got to go out and move every day. You got to get some movement. I recommend to my clients that you don't sit for more than 30 minutes and get up and move a little bit. At least every hour. Get up and move, stretch, breathe, spend a little bit of time moving, and every day try and find some time to at least go out for a walk, or do some form of strength training and some form of aerobic activity. And of course, we cover this, or really what are the best ones for your particular situation, where you're at in your life and what you want to accomplish. And but it's really quite simple to include a daily exercise into your lifestyle. I can guarantee you that some of the most busy, successful people in the world take time to exercise on a regular basis because they know all the benefits, how much it makes them have so much more energy and feel better, and they're healthier and they're more productive. So, one of the biggest excuses, I think I'm going to get to that in just a minute, so I'll save that. Just go. All right, so got to move your body. So it's move it or lose it. Now, this is really a big one. This is called rest, but I guess it could be sleep or rest and rejuvenation. Do you know where we actually get most of our energy from? When I ask most people this question, they'll say, well, I guess from food we eat. And that's only partially true. We do get some energy from the food that we eat, but mostly the nutrients in the food that we eat are used to regenerate and rebuild cells. Cells are always dying off, and we're building new cells. So that's really what the food nutrients that we are. But where we really get our energy, if you think about this, it's when we sleep. Think about this. We can go. People have fasted and not eaten any food or very little food for weeks and months, right? And they still stay alive and they can function and they move. Sometimes it's a good thing to do if you're sick or you need to really cleanse. But people have fasted for months and stayed alive. So, but think about how long can you go without sleep? Maybe a few days without sleep, and then your body just shuts down. It has no more energy and it can't function, right? Your body will just crash. And so what that shows is that at the end of the day, we're all tired, right? That's why we have to get some sleep. So while we're sleeping, remember, everything in the universe is made up of energy, just flows of energy flowing around and through us. And our bodies are actually are just nothing but impulses of energy and intelligence, including our physical body. So it's all about energy. So as we're sleeping, our body and our brains are able to pull in more energy into our physical body and regenerate ourselves and gain energy so that we wake up in the morning after we sleep and then we're energized again and we have energy and we can go out and do things again. So it's really when we sleep, it's where we get our energy from. So these days, so many people are just caught up into, oh, I'm so busy, I got to accomplish this. They stay up late at night, they're not getting the rest that they need, and eventually it's going to catch up with them. Again, that's why so many people end up having all these health challenges and end up being fatigued. So if you're not getting at least 7 to 8 hours of good sleep every day, it's going to catch up with you, and you're going to lose your energy and you're going to lose your health. So vitally important to take time out to get the right sleep. Ideally, it's been also proven that we do get deeper sleep before midnight. So ideally, sleep from like 10 to 6 would be the best time to get some rest. And then this is my favorite too. If you really want to live long and thrive, you got to make life fun. Life's supposed to be fun, not supposed to be a struggle. I like to ask this question to people too when I speak to groups. I say, raise your hand if you're having a lot of fun in your life, and I, I can tell you a lot of people do not. In fact, when I've talked to some people, they've gotten so stressed out in their life and taken their life so serious and gotten so stressed and concerned about stuff, they don't even know what would be fun anymore. They don't even know what fun is anymore. So, I have a friend who has a website. He's probably about my age. He's a really pretty cool guy. He has this website called Never Leave the Playground. It's all about just playing and having fun all the time. And I just want to mention on that playground thing is quite often I'll go out if I'm out in a park someplace, or if I'm working with a client, we'd like to do it outdoors, and sometimes I'll be around it by a playground and I'll just watch. And the parents will come up with their little children, and the children are all excited, and they just run into the playground. They're climbing, and they're having fun, and they're laughing, and having a good time, and doing a lot of energetic things. And then the parents will just sit down on a bench and just watch them, and they're just sitting there not doing anything. I'm going, why? Why aren't you out there moving and climbing and having some fun and swinging and having fun? Why just because we think that we're a little bit bigger now, we shouldn't do that? Never leave the playground. It's for everyone, not just for kids. All right. And then the last one is, and again, well, I always say all three of these strategies are important, but the CAN strategy stands for choosing to take action now. As I think I said this at the very start, having knowledge is not helpful at all. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge taking action on is power. So you have to take action on what you learn. You got to do it now. So we have some ways to help you to get where you do really get organized and you know exactly what you're going to do. So you will take the action. And there's ways to monitor yourself, and we have lots of different ways that can help you to so you actually will implement what you learn. So that's the big one. So again, it doesn't do you any good to know all this stuff and say, okay, I got it, I know what I need to do, I'm going to do it. But then if you don't do it, it's not going to help you at all. So, okay, here's the excuses. So here's the three big excuses that I normally get for not exercising or even not just really taking care of your health the way you should, taking care of your body. And of course, the number one is I don't have enough time. And that's absolutely the worst excuse. I don't have time. Sometimes I like to get a little tough on people and I say, okay, well, if you're really convinced that you don't have time to exercise and eat healthy and get enough sleep, it's probably true. You're running out of time and you're going to end up unfortunately, like the average American, you're going to get old and sick and die way before your time, and that's just the truth. But you know what? Everyone has the same amount of time in their life. We all have 24 hours a day, and as I just previously mentioned, I can guarantee you, because I've worked with some people, and I know many people that are super busy and really highly energetic, and they take time out to exercise. Just like myself, I just can't imagine not doing some exercise on a regular every day. It gives you so much more energy, you feel so much better, and you accomplish more. So not having enough time is the world's worst excuse for not exercising. And some people say it's not fun. Well, what I finally learned to say to people, okay, if you don't think moving your body is fun, which I have a hard time with that because I think people just got kind of cut off from their physical body and realizing that it can be fun. But I think almost all children, what are they doing? And what are the young of all species doing? They're just jumping and running and moving your body and having such a great time, right? So we just kind of lose that, you know. But if you're at the point now in your life where you think it's not fun to exercise, say, well, what I tell people is, okay, but I guarantee you, when you start to exercise and you start to feel a lot better and you look better and you feel better and you have more energy, your life's going to be a lot more fun. You're going to have a lot more fun in your life when you get fit and healthy. So then your life will be more fun. So it is fun. So that's not a good excuse either. And then another one is I don't really know what to do. You know, I don't really know how to exercise right or what to eat. And it is kind of confusing. There's so much information and misinformation out there, and people trying to sell you everything, all these weight loss products and things that don't work. So again, that's what the Ageless Living Lifestyle Training is all about. You'll know exactly what is to do. What are the best things? What are the most time efficient, effective ways to exercise and to eat and to sleep and to do all the things that we need to do, these seven essentials of life. That's what it's all about. All right. So the real benefits of having a really personalized wellness program excuse me, that you can implement for the rest of your life is it really increases your self-esteem and your self-image, the way you feel about yourself. Because when you look better and you feel a lot better about yourself. And so it's kind of a cycle. The better you feel about yourself, the more you're motivated to take more care of yourself and do it more, so you can even do better. So it gives you a lot of confidence, and it gives you a lot more confidence. You know, when you're feeling good and you know you have lots of energy, it gives you confidence in every aspect of your life, and of course it creates more energy. Remember, energy is like money. You have to spend some to get some. So you spend a little energy, you get more energy. It's really going to improve your overall health. It's going to give you the best chance to avoid any disease in old age and stay a lot healthier. It's going to give you more strength, more flexibility, more endurance. It's just, again, how your body's going to look. It's going to, you have more sex appeal. You're going to have more sexual ability. You're going to have more strength, and you're going to have more fun. This is all. You know, it's so funny. You know, being a trainer and a coach and other people I know that in the same field, we just always wonder, how can people just don't quite get it. You know, unfortunately, so many people go through the whole life and never really experience what it means to be really fit and strong and energetic, and how much more you can enjoy your life and how much more fun you can have. So that's why we're doing this webinar, and that's why we do what we do, and have created these programs, Ageless Living Lifestyle, to help you so that it can make it easy for you, that you can experience all these things and you can have a lot more fun in your life. So I want to talk a little bit about goals, because I think this is kind of important. Um, let's see what the next one is here. Yeah, you know, I think we're all familiar. I don't think anyone hasn't heard about goals, and we need to have goals, and we need to write them down. And there's that SMART acronym and all those things, and all that's fine. But I think a lot of times we're missing the real key point and the real key component of what you need to do and what's going to make a goal something that you can actually really achieve and you'll stick with and do it. And what it is that your goals must be tied to what's really important in your life, what you have this burning desire to achieve. Now remember that exercise that we started off with, you know, what are the four most important things in your life? Your health, your relationships, your business or your financial situation, and in how you are going to serve and what difference you're going to make in the world. So that's what your goals have to be tied to. Your goals have to be tied to one of those areas, something that's really important, something you're passionate about. See, one of the world's worst goals and New Year's resolutions is to lose weight. That's one of the worst goals to have. I'm going to lose some weight, because obviously it doesn't work. We're going to talk about that in just a minute here as well. If it did, we'd have a nation of thin people instead of a fat nation, right? So you see, if you have some sort of a goal like that, that's not something that you don't even want to think about. That's not something you're passionate about or it's really important in your life. That's just something that you need to do in order to be able to do well in what is important to your life. So what's important in your life is to be healthy and energetic, so you can uh, feel good and look good and do what you need to do in other areas of your life. So losing weight or getting fit is just something that you have to do in order to achieve what's really important in your life. So the goal is to be is to your goal has to be tied to one of those areas that's really important in your life, like creating good health. Now that's a good goal, and these other things are just things that you do. So that's not your goal. That's just something you do to achieve your goal. And again, you must have a strong self-image and a high self-esteem and feel good about yourself if you're going to stick with your goals. So I just think that's really important to know. And so I always tell people your number one goal is to be well and to feel good every day. That should be our goal. We want to feel good every day and to be well. Remember, wellness is a complete feeling of well-being mentally, emotionally, physically, socially, and spiritually. That's what we should strive for. And when that's your number one goal, then you'll have the mindset to do what you need to do in order to be that way. And when you do feel that way, then you're going to be have much better chance to be successful in all those things that really are important in your life. All right, so now this is just kind of a summary of what the Ageless Living Lifestyle is all about and what it contains. So I came up with this idea. This is the Ageless Living Lifestyle Wellness Pyramid. At the top, again, I believe we're all spiritual beings here for a short time. So our real true, most important thing in our life is to become self-realized and to realize that we're spiritual beings and we're here to do the best that we can and help to create heaven on earth. And then next, most important is social. It's our circle of family and friends and community service. Next one is take care of our environment, our planetary awareness, and to living green. As again, our Earth is our life support system. If we don't take care of it, we can't sustain ourselves. And then there's our mental emotional state, positive belief systems and having the right intentions and affirmations and having fun and enjoying our life every day. And then at the bottom of the pyramid, really, these are just the things that we do to support all the ones on the top. If we're going to be achieve all those areas on the top, we have to have good nutrition. We got to get some sunlight. We got to get purified water. We got to get basically a plant-based, organic, whole food diet. And we got to move and breathe and all those things and get some rest and relaxation. So this is my Ageless Living Lifestyle Wellness Pyramid. Now, the great thing about this, all those things we just talked about there in the pyramid, is that if you do them, you can't fail. That's why I love what I do and teaching what I do and living this ageless living lifestyle, because it's not some theory and it's not some things. Well, some people are, like all these, you see so many people teaching how to make money, and maybe some people will and some people won't, and it just depends on a lot of different circumstances. So you never really know if you're going to be able to do it just because somebody else did. But when it comes to our health and all the things that we teach, these things you can't fail. If you do it, you're going to get the benefits. If you get more oxygen in your body, if you get more water, you get healthier, energetic food, you move your body, you do stretching, you do strength training, you're going to get gains. You can't fail. So that's the great thing about this. That's why I love to tell people, look, just got to do it. That's it. All right, now we're just about to come to the end here. And I remember one of the things that I promised you at the start was I'm going to show you how you can instantly end your struggle with dieting and losing weight forever. Would that be good? I think so many people are dealing with this, and it's just, it really kind of, it's a real thing that I'm really passionate about, trying to help people, because I know so many people are struggling with this, and they're going on and on with all these diets and the next diet and the next diet pills and all the things, what they're doing, and they're not getting anywhere. So here's the answer. How to instantly end your struggle with diet and losing weight forever is stop trying. Yes, stop trying to lose weight. It doesn't work. Does it work? If it did, we'd be a nation of thin people, right? The weight loss industry is over $100 billion a year industry. 100 billion. We call it the 4P phenomena: pills, powders, packaged foods, and preposterous promises. It's just crazy. If all that stuff worked, we'd be a thin, healthy population, but it's just the opposite. We're getting fatter and fatter. So obviously, we're sending the wrong message to our brain. Any weight loss, we don't like to lose anything. Anytime we lose something, what do? We find it, right? It's just the whole concept and the whole approach is the wrong situation. So what I recommend people to do is to throw away your scale and never weigh yourself again. Never weigh yourself again. It's just futile because, and actually it doesn't really matter what you weigh. It's how much excess body fat you have. So right now, if you've been into that mode of trying to go on the next diet and you're trying to lose weight, you can totally put that out of your mind. Throw away your scale. Never weigh yourself again. Never go on another diet. But here's what you got to do. Obviously, if you have excess body fat, which I like to tell my clients, that's just you got some stored energy on your body. Fat has the most energy. So you got a lot of stored energy. Just got to go out and use up, get more energy. You can get out, burn that energy. Okay. So here's what you have to do. Here's a safe and effective fat reduction program that I teach and we teach in the Ageless Living Lifestyle. The first thing is, most important, you need to get your hormonal system checked up. So I really suggest you get with a good more of a holistic integrative medicine doctor or a naturopathic doctor and get your hormonal system checked out. That's a big one, in particular your thyroid's off, which is for so many people these days. No matter what you do, you're not going to be able to lose all that excess body fat until you get your hormones in balance. So you need to get that taken care of. And then also, you got to pay attention to our gut health, to our intestinal tract. We now know is like it's so important because that's where all the things are going on. That's where foods get us digested and absorbed and put back into our body. And some things, if they're not getting absorbed properly, they get back into our body and cause all kind of problems. Then our body just has to store this undigested food as fat. So it's a bad cycle. So you need to really learn about how to create a healthy GI tract and get the right healthy bacteria in there. I'm sure you've heard of probiotics. Those are foods that support life. These are bacteria that support life that we need in our gut. So gut health is another real important one that we also teach in our training. Now here's two big tips that I'm going to give you right here that are two of my best things to help people when they need to be on a fat reduction program. It's the alternate foods diet, and what that really is, it's on one day and you're also exercising on this day. You're primarily eating just some lean protein and mostly vegetables, no carbohydrates and no starches. Nothing that turns to sugar immediately and gets right into your bloodstream. So that's what happens. When we eat too much carbohydrates or too much starch or sugars, they get into our bloodstream right away, and it overtaxes our body. We can't produce enough insulin to take care of it. So what does the body do with excess stuff that it can't handle? It stores it as fat. It has to do something with it. Takes it away from our vital organs, stores it as fat. So on the day that you're eating just lean protein and vegetables and you're exercising, so then the glycogen stores, which is sugar that we use, our body does use sugar for energy, but when it gets stored in our muscles as glycogen, that's where we want it. And then our muscles, when we're moving, it uses that glycogen for energy and it gets burned up. That's what we want. It's just when we have an excess that it gets stored as fat. So if you're eating just lean protein and vegetables, and then you're exercising, so the glycogen gets burned up. So then in the muscles. So then the next day you can add some carbohydrates, some healthy carbohydrates, like maybe something like a sweet potato or a yam or brown rice or some beans, something like that, or maybe some gluten-free bread. Then, because the glycogen stores in our muscles are empty, then all that sugar goes into our muscles and it gets burned up. So that's how you alternate. One day you can eat some carbs, next day you don't, and that works for most people. The other benefit of that is it also alters the amount of calories you're eating. See, again, that's why these low-calorie diets don't work either, because you say you're only going to eat 1,000 calories every day. Pretty soon your body just adapts to that, and that's all. Nothing happens. So when you're alternating the amount of calories you have in a day, your body's kind of confused, and your metabolism doesn't know what to do, so it kind of speeds up. So you don't want to eat the same amount of calories on the same day. And then, of course, the fourth one is interval training. You've probably heard of that these days, and hopefully you're doing some of that. We now know that long bouts of slow, steady aerobic exercise is actually almost counterproductive. It doesn't really speed up our metabolism nearly as much as we thought it was, and it doesn't burn as much fat. So we now know that short bouts, about 20 minutes of high intensity interval training, uh, actually burns more calories and speeds up our metabolism for the whole day. So we're actually, so 1 hour of just going out slow jogging, in that 1 hour you may burn a few more calories than 20 minutes of high intensity interval training, but then it kind of shuts down. But with the interval training, you'll burn more calories for the rest of the day, so you actually speed up your metabolism. So that's my safe, effective fat reduction tips for you. Okay, I've got a few more slides here that I think you'll find interesting. Okay, so it's, what do these people have in common? Well, there's Oprah, there's Michael Jordan, there's Leonardo, and there's, let's see, who's that guy? Oh, it looks kind of familiar. I guess that might be me. So all these people are rich and famous. Well, at least 3 out of 4 anyway. But what do they all have in common? But we do have something in common, all of us. We all have coaches and trainers. You know, the most successful people in the world know that it's so important to have a coach and have a trainer. It's good to read self-improvement books and books where we get a lot of good information and CD programs and workshops. These are all great. I mean, I love books and CDs and workshops. They're all great and they help you. But the very best way in order to really achieve our goals quickly, coaching is known to be the fastest and most effective way to achieve your goals. You need to get a good coach to help you out, get you on the right track, keep you motivated, keep you inspired, and make sure you're doing the most effective, efficient use of your time to achieve your goals. So we know coaching is the best way to do that. So, if I may, as I told you at the start of this workshop, at the start of this webinar, I'd like to tell you about my new coaching programs that I have. And again, the best thing about what we have to offer is that your success is guaranteed if you just do what you're trained to do at your own pace. You will be successful. You can't miss out. So the 3 different areas that I coach people are, I want to tell you about our new Ageless Living Lifestyle online 90-day workshop. I'll tell you all about that. And of course, I have a 90-day personal phone coaching program that you can contact me and we can talk personally with through phone coaching, no matter where you live. And of course, if you live in San Diego, we have a 90-day personal training program where I actually can work with you and some of our other people can work with you one-on-one. But the new program that I really like to tell you about, I'm excited about because now anybody can, anywhere in the world, can actually go through what we actually teach in our live workshops. You can do it in the comfort of your home, at your own pace. You only have to complete 1 lesson per week for 12 weeks, and you're going to be able to develop your complete Ageless Living Lifestyle Wellness Strategy. Okay, I'm going to go back here. Okay, so tell a little bit more about it first. So the way it works is when you sign up for this, your Ageless Living Lifestyle online 90-day coaching workshop, each week you get an audio and a text lesson and a video training of what I want you to do for that week. And you get a copy of my book, Ageless Living. It's really a workbook that I use for my live workshops. And so each week you just have to develop one area. You go through the C.L.E.A.R strategy, you go through the C.A.R.E strategy, you go through the C.A.N strategy. So at the end of the 12 weeks, you will have developed your complete 3 strategies personalized for yourself. And again, you only have to do one area for 1 week, so it's not overwhelming. You don't get, oh, how am I going to do all this stuff? I show you exactly all you need to do this 1 week, and then the next week, and the next week, and it builds. And at the end of the 12 weeks, you have developed your complete strategy. Now, you also get to email me any questions throughout the workshop, and I'll try and help you with it throughout your 90-day program. And at the end of your 90-day program, you get a full 30 to 45-minute personal coaching program on the phone to help you answer any questions or any challenges you're having, or to get you more motivated. and also there's like 12 videos trainings. Some of them are our very best stuff. How to make healthy fast food, how to shop for the best food, really how to do my favorite 8 exercises that'll keep you strong for the rest of your life, and how to do our basic 7 stretches, and all kind of really good trainings that you'll have there. You can watch them over and over again. So you'll have so much information. This program is so loaded with so much valuable stuff. And then we have 4 really amazing bonuses that you're going to get as well. So I told you I was going to give you a really special offer at the end of this. So for staying here and listening to the whole webinar, I'm going to give you a really special offer. So you go to agelessliving.lifestyle.com/special offer and use the coupon code 40%. So that means you're going to get 40% off our price. So you're going to get an excellent, amazing deal, 40% off. And when you go there too, you go to that website, agelesslivinglifestyle.com/special offer page, you're going to learn all the details about the program, all that you get, and how you can enroll for that big discount. So we're going to keep this offer up. It's not going to be up too much longer. Once we get a lot of people in here, then we'll probably change it. But for now, we want to get the first few hundred people in there at a really good deal, 40% off, and then I'd love to get your testimonies for how it worked for you. So I hope you'll take advantage of this great opportunity, and I'd love to work with you. So just a couple more slides here. Can you predict the future? It's commonly thought that we can't predict the future, right? We don't know what's going on. But you know what? When it comes to our health, we really can predict the future. If you sit down with someone and they tell you what their lifestyle is about, what they're eating, how they're exercising, how they're thinking, we can get a pretty good idea of what's going to be happening in your future. So if you're like so many people we talked about in America, you're on that standard American diet, you're eating all this processed junk food, and you're not getting enough exercise, and you're feeling stressed and not getting enough rest, it's pretty predictable that you're going to end up like most Americans. You're going to be getting sick and old and dying way before your time. But it doesn't have to be. See, it doesn't have to be. So, but on the other hand, if you begin to make these changes and begin to eat a lot healthier food and move your body and get rest and change how you're thinking, we can also predict that you got a lot better chance to stay healthy and energetic. And actually, you can get younger. You're going to be better in the future. So let's do a little kind of a fun little visualization exercise right now. So just kind of close your eyes for a moment, and let's focus on the health. That's what we're talking about, mostly about our health right now. So think about something in your health that you know that you need to improve. Maybe you are over fat. Maybe you are not as energetic as you need to be. Maybe you have some fairly serious health challenge you're dealing with. Whatever it is, whatever you know that it's not the best and you need to improve, just think about that. Kind of put your attention on it. Now think about if you don't change your lifestyle. Think about 6 months from now, if you just continue on the way you are, what's going to happen? Is it going to get better? No, most likely it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. And think about it if it goes for another whole year or maybe 2 years. What's going to happen? I mean, it actually could turn into something life-threatening. So if you don't make some changes, if you continue to do the same thing you're doing over and over again, which remember is Einstein's definition of insanity, doing the same things over again, hoping for a different result, it's not going to be good. So now come back again and now think about that same health challenge that you may be having and that you would like to improve. So let's say if you began to know that you're going to start eating healthier and you're going to start moving your body better, you're going to get more rest, and all those 7 essentials, you're going to start working on those 7 essentials of life that we can teach you. Where do you think you're going to be in 6 months? You're going to improve. You're going to do better. Remember, you can't fail. That's the great thing about this. All these things, when you do them, you get results. Now, everybody's different, and no matter, I don't know where exactly you're at right now. I don't know you yet. I hope I get to know you. But you'll get some good results. I promise you. You cannot fail. You're going to do it. So you just have to do it. And 6 months from now, you can actually be, and 1 year from now, you can actually be younger and healthier and more energetic than you are now. So we actually can kind of turn back the clock. We actually can get better as we age. That's the whole, one of the big goals of the Ageless Living lifestyle is to not only get and stay healthy, but we can actually improve our life as we age. I like to kid people. Sometimes I always done a lot of chin-ups on a bar, and those are real difficult. But that's something I know it's real valuable, and I've always done those. And so sometimes I'll challenge much younger guys who think they're in pretty good shape to doing some chin-ups, and then usually I can beat them, even though they might be really strong with lifting heavy weights. But I said, let's do some chin-ups, and I beat them, and they get real frustrated. And so I say, well, don't worry, you're still young yet. You have time to you can get better. So we have a laugh about that. But it's true. As you age, you can actually get better in many categories. Okay, so we're almost done. Hang in there. So there's basically three kinds of people in the world. There's people who make things happen. There's people who watch things happen, and then there's people who wonder what happened. So I hope you're one of those people who make things happen. So it all comes down to taking action. That's what we're here for. We're here in life to take action. So I hope you're a person who really wants to take action. Now, I also remember at the start of this webinar, I told you too that I had some free gifts for you for just watching this through this whole webinar. So my first gift is my book. This is one of my latest books. It's an electronic book. It's called Real Happiness, Real Success, Real Fast. I have a whole series of something real fast. So this is my latest contribution. I think you'll like it a lot. It gives you kind of a nice kind of a spin on how you can really create happiness and success really quite easily. So you'll get that ebook, and then you also get a free 30-minute phone coaching session with me. Now this is not just a consultation. This is actually we can talk about what challenges you have. You can ask me any questions about your health, and I'll give you all the help I can possibly give you in about a 30-minute coaching session. So to receive your book and request your coaching sessions, just send us an email to gifts@agelesslivinglifestyle.com. gifts@agelesslivinglifestyle.com. And so that's it. Be bold, never be old. I'd like to, again, I love to tell people this because they really get the idea, and it's really true. You just have to step up and be bold in everything in your life, right? Whatever you want to be successful or to excel at, you've got to take bold steps. You got to step your game up and step out there and do it and be bold, and you'll never have to be old. Remember, old is just a state of your mind, a state of your body. So I so much encourage you to really, go to agelesslivinglifestyle.com/special offer. Read all about our new online workshop. I'd love to have you join our movement of never being old. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to get to know you. And I know it'll be really highly successful for you, and you'll be really glad you did. So thanks very much for watching. And as you see on the screen, be bold, never be old.